The concept of counting attackers and defenders is important in every move in chess. You always want to make sure your pieces are well defended. Now keep in mind, because of the way the chessboard is set up from the start, there are two particularly weak squares, the f2 and f7 pawns. Take a moment to look at why that might be. If you notice that it's because the only defenders are the kings, you're right. A lone king is not a strong defender, so in many games of chess, a quick attack on the vulnerable f-pawns can sometimes be effective. Let's take a look at one of the most classic examples of a quick f7 attack. White plays e4, opening up the bishop and queen, as well as controlling the center. Black fights for control of the center with e5. White plays knight f3, attacking the e5 pawn, and black plays d6, protecting the pawn. Now white plays bishop to c4. What do you notice about the placement of white's light-squared bishop? It's pointing directly at the weak f7 pawn. Black needs to be careful, but in this case doesn't do so and plays a6, with the slow idea of playing b5 and attacking the light-squared bishop. But this idea is too slow. Notice black has only moved pawns, and white continues to gain a lead in development by bringing another piece into the game with knight to c3. Black realizes the a6 plan was too slow and decides to change plans by playing bishop to g4, pinning the white knight to the queen. Now, is this an absolute pin or a relative pin? It's a relative pin, so white plays the crazy-looking knight takes e5. Black cannot believe such great luck and immediately captures white's queen. But what would happen if black would have captured white's knight with d takes e5 instead? In this case, white would capture the bishop on g4 and gain an extra pawn from the captures. Let's go back to the position where black captures white's queen. What do you notice about white's pieces and how they relate to the f7 square? White has two attackers on f7, the knight and the bishop, and black's only defender is the lone king. So white plays bishop takes f7, check. Black's king cannot capture the bishop because it's protected by the knight. Also notice the powerful knight on e5 protects d7, so that means the king can only move to e7. After king e7, white has a forced checkmate. Can you find the winning move? It's knight d5, checkmate. All three of white's developed pieces work together to checkmate the black king. Now let's see if you can find the best attacking moves against the f2 and f7 squares.